Hello, hello, and welcome to Freelance Friday. Today, I thought I would give a step by step guide to becoming a social media manager if you're looking to do it, within the next 6 months or so. Now, obviously, results are going to vary a lot depending on where you're starting from and what your ultimate goals are. But I think this is a pretty realistic guide that hopefully will help you out if this is something that you're looking to do, or if you're just looking to give your existing social media management business a little refresh. So let's take it month by month. Month one, when you're first wanting to start anything, I think it's really important to learn the basics, learn the essentials, learn the fundamentals. And for social media management, the thing about this job is that it has changed so much over the years. It started out as being all about like Facebook, Twitter, maybe. And then we got Instagram and things started to take a much more photography angle. And nowadays, everything is very video heavy. So there are a lot of different skills that I think are important for a social media manager today to at least know a little bit about, at least know, the basics about. And those things are number one, strategy. Not just knowing how to create something that looks good, but actually knowing the details of the platforms and things like how to really refine brand messaging and communicate it across social media, how to know which platforms you should be on based on demographic data and brand alignment and things like that. Frequency, timing, just kind of overall creative direction, I think is all included in that bucket. Content creation, like I just talked about, right? Photos, videos, a little bit of design work. Now, I'm not saying that every social media manager needs to know all of that stuff in detail, but you should at least know your way around a basic design tool. If you need to resize an image for social media, you should know best practices of shooting some quick video on your iPhone for Instagram stories or whatever that may be. Copywriting is one that I think is often forgotten about, but it's used on literally every social media platform. I can't think of one social media platform that doesn't require you to write copy in some way. And even like TikTok, which is pretty light, the caption isn't really the most important thing. Knowing how to put a hook on your TikTok cover, knowing how to, adjust captions and things like that is important. And nowadays, I think people are getting really tired of the chat GPT, like corny, cheesy copywriting style, the million emojis and the life-changing and game-changing, whatever it always says. So I think it is really important to learn how to do this originally from your own brain. Analytics is another big one. Knowing how to read analytics, but also communicate them. In my opinion, that is actually the biggest thing that is going to get you paid. When I talk to social media managers who are struggling to, command what they believe they're worth and get higher ticket clients and things like that, it's often because there is just not the data. There's not the proven ROI of what they're doing for their clients. And if you can go into an analytics tool and say, hey, I drove this many people to your website, and we know that this many people bought from your website, you can start to do some math and really tell some stories that communicate the value of the work that you do. And that's going to help you raise your rates. That's going to help you get clients in the first place. It's going to help you feel better about what it is that you do. Because I know I've not done this, before I really had a clear understanding of analytics, or maybe a client just didn't have great infrastructure for that. I felt bad. I constantly felt like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to get fired. They are not happy with me. I don't feel good about the work that I'm doing. So those few things are really, really essential for you to brush up on, study up on, and know how to speak to. And don't worry, I'm not leaving you in the dark, of course. If you are looking for some guidance in those areas, those are all the things that we cover in the Social Media Management Accelerator. We actually cover a lot more as well. We talk about business structures and deciding which working style is right for you between freelance, full-time, in-house agency, etc. And we're going to be opening up doors to a new cohort very soon. This is not like any other course that you've ever taken before. It's a live course where I teach every single week for 8 weeks. And we get together on Zoom. We go through lessons together, but we also do masterminds and critiques of work and Q&As. And I really guide you through the process step by step. We have projects that we work on together, and teaching it truly is like the highlight of my career. It's my favorite thing that I do, honestly. So I'd love to have you there. If you want to join the wait list, I'll let you know as soon as doors are opening. You'll also get the best pricing. You'll get early bird pricing and save some money that way. It's so fun. I would love to have you there. The link is down in the show notes, or if you are listening and you just want to type it in, it's just latashajames.com/SMMA. All right, month 2. For month 2, I think it's important to work on your tech stack. Work on the tools that you're going to be using to get the job done, and really start to work on your systems and just get this to be a smoothly oiled machine. Why does that not sound correct? A well-oiled machine. There we go. Now, in the early days, first of all, you should be using yourself as a test dummy, if you will. So I want you to go in and treat yourself just like a client for your own social media profiles, if you have them. Hook your own social media accounts up to Meta Ads Manager, up to Metricool. Create a fake client account for yourself in Honeybook. All of these different tools that you're going to need, so that when you get a paying client or even a portfolio client, you are like very professional. Everything is moving very seamlessly and your infrastructure is set up. This is something I took way too long to do when I first started my business. I just was like, I don't need these expensive tools quite yet. I'm going to wait. And then next thing you know, I became booked out. I had 5, 6, 7 social media clients at a time, and I didn't have the time to go in and really fine tune my social media scheduling tools or CRMs or anything like that. So here's my recommendations. First off, Metricool is my favorite for everything social media management, scheduling, inbox management, analytics, ads. What am I missing? I feel like they do it all, truly. They also are a sponsor of the Freelance Friday podcast, which is very kind. I would be talking about them whether they were or not, but since they are, let's go ahead and share a little bit more about Metricool. You can get 30 days free on any of their premium plans using my code Latasha, that's Latasha, down in the show notes. If you don't already know, Metricool is your all-in-one social media management platform that I personally use for my business, and it's a must-have tool in the marketing space. And while they do have a free forever plan, their pro plan unlocks valuable features so you can grow and maintain your online presence for yourself, your clients, or even your own business. You can choose from starter, advanced, or enterprise level plans. There really is a plan for everyone. Some of the amazing premium features that are available across the plans are management of multiple brands, analysis of up to 100 competitors, customizable links for any of your social media bios, downloadable reports that you can automate monthly, a hashtag search engine for Instagram and TikTok. You can assign team member roles and client access. You can integrate with Data Studio for further analysis, and so much more. So be sure to create your free account today and upgrade to premium. While you're at it, you can use code Latasha for 30 days free on any premium plan. Test out the program and become a Metricooler. Honestly, they've got an amazing free plan too, which is kind of a tip, in the early days in month 2, lean into as much free stuff as you can that you can scale with. Metricool has a free plan, so you don't need to pay anything to sign up. But when you do get that first client or that second client or that third client, and you're like, all right, I need more posts, or I need more features, or I need to add a team onto this, you'll be able to scale with it, and you're not going to have to start from scratch on a new tool. Another tool that I think is pretty essential for social media managers, at least the freelancers out there, is Honeybook. Honeybook is a client management system, and it allows you to send contracts through. It allows you to send onboarding materials over to your client, have a client portal for them. It's just kind of like an all-in-one client hub, if you will. I highly recommend it, and I will leave a link for that down in the show notes as well. I believe I have a 50% off link if you want to give them a try. It is a paid tool. They don't have a free plan, but it is well worth it. If you just get one client, it pays for your Honeybook account. And I do think it's essential. I really do. Before I had Honeybook, I was just sending things through in like Google Drive, and it was a mess. It didn't feel secure. It did not feel or look professional. I also had like a bunch of templates that were, I was copying and pasting from my notes app and from Google Docs, and it was just a mess. You can store all that stuff in HoneyBook. It's seriously such a game changer. So sign up for those tools. That's my recommendation in month 2. Get them set up, get all your automations set up, get all your templates written, get all your contracts drafted, all the things that you need, and then start testing out these tools on your own accounts. Start scheduling from Metricool to your own account so you can work out all the kinks. You can know exactly how it works. And then in month 3, you should be good to go to take a portfolio client. And a portfolio client is basically just a test client, a mock client, if you will. And there are so many different ways to get portfolio clients. Number 1, you can be your own portfolio client. I mean, it's ideal to have it be somebody else, but again, you can use yourself as a test dummy. If you have a podcast about like Harry Potter, I don't know, or something random, you can treat that podcast just like a client and use it to build your portfolio. For me, back in the day when I was first starting, I had a blog, and that's really what I used as my portfolio material when I started to go out and pitch for clients, apply to jobs, things like that. And people really liked it. They thought it was really cool that I had a passion project and that I was clearly, interested in the internet. Now, you can also reach out to people in your life. Maybe you volunteer already at a local soup kitchen and you want to offer them some social media advice or, some updated social media graphics or a few videos of the next event that they have. Maybe you've got a friend or family member who could use your help. Just be careful, obviously, with giving your services away for free, especially with people that you know and love, because you don't want to get taken advantage of. So always make sure that your portfolio projects have a start and end date, that you're not just saying, I'll be your social media manager forever, that you're saying, hey, I'll create 10 Instagram stories for you or 10 Instagram reels, or, I will do a social media audit or a social media strategy for you. Something that is start, end, and that means that you will get feedback quickly once you complete the job. And make sure that they also know that you are going to be asking for feedback in exchange for that free work that you're doing for them. Now, it doesn't have to be free work either. You can look for a portfolio project that's, paying if you want to. But my thing is, if you're trying to get booked out in 6 months or a short period of time like this, you got to get experience first and foremost. Obviously, you can skip this step if you already have like job experience or whatever. But if you're starting from scratch, I say get a couple of portfolio projects under your belt so you have something in your portfolio. You'll just be that much closer to taking on paid work. In the Social Media Management Accelerator, I actually created some mock brands for my students to work with so they can kind of have a portfolio client. I say that in air quotes because they're obviously not real clients, but they give you some material to work with. So you can create Instagram reels for a yoga studio, or you can create TikToks for a skincare brand and be able to put that stuff into your portfolio, get critiques on it from me. And it's a really essential part of the course, in my opinion. Now, something else you're going to want to think about while you're, acquiring your portfolio client is what you really want to do. Now, ideally, you'll be able to get maybe a couple of portfolio clients, and maybe they're in different niches. This is kind of a hot take. I do think niching is important, but I think it's not realistic to know your niche from day one. Like if you are starting brand new and you're like, I'm just learning about this social media management thing, I do not expect you to know exactly what type of client you want, what type of business you want to work with, what industry you want to work for, So take on a few different clients, do a few different projects, and see what, number 1, you like doing, number 2 is in demand, and number 3, you're good at. For me, when I was first starting out, I mean, in the corporate world, I worked in automotive and then I worked in staffing. And then for clients, I worked with a tech startup, an influencer marketing startup, beauty brands. I worked with an artist, a visual artist, a painter. I worked with a musician, a folk musician. Politics. I did a lot of political stuff back in college and stuff. Like I've worked really with so many different types of businesses and of course, lots of tech brands, which is primarily who I work with now, pretty much like a lot of SaaS brands and some hardware brands as well. But yeah, it took me going through all of these different interests and names in my Rolodex to really find that I'm passionate about tech and that's what I'm the best at and which seems to have the budget to pay me. So you're probably going to need to do the same thing. So start thinking about it, start thinking about your ideal niche, but you don't need to like completely commit to it, I suppose. Now, Month 3, I guess I have a long to-do list for month 3. You might want to break this up between 2, 3, 4, but I also think it's important to work on your website while you are in this phase. Now, you don't have to have a wild website. And in fact, it's probably not going to be super detailed because you are still figuring out your brand, you're figuring out your niche. You need a placeholder website. You need a website that can just have, here's who I am, here's what I do, here's how to get in touch with me. I just did a whole video all about the essential things that you need on your freelance website. So I'll link that in the cards and in the show notes for you if you want to check that out. But it does not need to be anything fancy. You can literally do it in a day if you use the tool that I recommend in that video. I also have, for my websites, I use Squarespace. It's pretty easy. But you need something before you start pitching. I feel quite strongly about this, that if you are going to start pitching to brands to manage their social media, you need to come correct and show up professionally with an actual website. And you also are going to want to sign up for a social media account if you don't have one already on the most likely platform that you're going to find your clients on. Now, again, this might be a little bit in flux as you figure out your niche. But for example, for me working in tech, that means that I'm going to really focus on cleaning up my LinkedIn, creating a LinkedIn company page if I don't have one yet, because that's where a lot of those people tend to hang out. Maybe even X, Twitter, is where I'm going to find tech brands. If you want to work with life coaches or you want to work with local boutiques or local restaurants, well, maybe that means Instagram for you, or maybe it means Facebook for other local businesses. So just do your due diligence. And again, this goes into social media strategy. Think about the platform that is going to be the most likely to get you in touch with your ideal clients. Remember, your ideal clients, not your peers. And of course, you can sign up for multiple, but I say just start with one and go really, get really consistent with that, get really comfortable posting, and then you can kind of scale and repurpose and stuff. Month 4, assuming that you got a portfolio client or 2, you want to make sure that you're putting them into your portfolio. Put any work that you've created for them. This is one of the reasons why doing deliverables as portfolio content is really, really beneficial, because you can just, boom, I created an Instagram reel. Here's the Instagram reel. Like, it's short and sweet. You don't need to wait for like a Facebook ad to finish its ad spend and to be able to report on metrics and things like that. But work on a portfolio. We've got a portfolio template for you in the accelerator. And there's also one in my social media management toolbox. I'll link that down below as well. You also want to, once you have your portfolio ready, you have your website, just a simple website ready, tell your network about it. Tell everybody that you know about it. Post on that social media platform that you chose. Do it consistently. Do it every day if you can. But also talk to people in your community. Talk to your family. Talk to your friends. Reach out to past colleagues. This is the time to be a little hungry, to be honest with you. And your friends, your family, your people who care about you, they're not going to take it offensively as long as you're not like spamming them and being super weird. But just let people know, hey, this is a new thing that I'm doing. I've got a website. I would love it if you had any referrals or if you have any feedback for me. And boom, it's that simple. You don't need to like harass people about it. Keep it short and sweet. And you will probably be surprised by how many referrals come your way. When I left my day job and people would ask for my website, I got so many leads from colleagues. It was so nice. I get leads from family members I never thought would know anybody who needed the services that I offer, but they come in all the time. So don't be shy about it. And now I also think it's important to start pitching, during month 4. Some really easy wins, some low-hanging fruit, if you will, are job boards. Spending an hour a day minimum is what I did when I first went full-time in my business. I spent an hour a day applying for gigs on Upwork, applying to freelance gigs on LinkedIn, just scouring the internet. Honestly, a kind of secret one that a lot of people don't talk about is Craigslist, Facebook groups. Those are all really, really, again, low-hanging fruit. It's like those people know that they need you. So just spend some time on them and start sending that portfolio to them, introducing yourself, sending your website over, sharing the results that you've been able to achieve for your portfolio clients or for your own brand, or, all of that good stuff. Make sure that you're spending an hour a day doing that. If you genuinely spend an hour a day pitching, I have no doubt that you will at least get a couple of paid clients over the next couple months. But It really is it's like a muscle. It's like going to the gym. That's what I did. I would wake up in the morning, I'd have my cup of coffee, scroll Upwork, scroll Facebook groups, all the things. And yeah, like I said, post daily to your platforms. Start talking about what you do, talking about your services. Just again, it's easier said than done, but don't be shy. Let people know that you have a solution for them on your social media platforms. Do outbound engagement. Start reaching out to people who you'd like to work with someday, making connections, things like that. Month 5, keep pitching. Just keep on pitching. Hopefully, you've maybe picked up an Upwork client or something like that. After that, you want to start thinking about your dream clients. I think it's such a good exercise to write out a list of like your top 10, top 20 dream clients. What are some brands that you would love to work with? For me, maybe those are like random vegan restaurants or vegan food brands or bigger tech brands or whatever that might be. But write them down, start to research them, start to really study them. And if they're at least somewhat realistic, obviously, like I'm probably not going to pitch Apple because they're just such a huge company and they have such a huge in-house marketing team. But maybe if it's a smaller up and coming tech brand, I'm going to actually try to find their contact information, find their marketing managers, their chief marketing officers, connect with them on LinkedIn, start to just develop a rapport with them. So when they do need somebody, when they do post a job, when I get the courage to pitch them, like we are already connected. But yeah, definitely keep pitching and start pitching some of those, maybe off-platform contacts during month 5. I think another thing that I would do if I was starting over today is I would pitch local co-working spaces, local business events, meetups, things like that. Most towns and cities have some type of a chamber of commerce or like a small business networking event, or like I said, a co-working space or two. Reach out to all of those types of businesses and say, hey, I would love to get in front of your audience and maybe teach something or host free audits for your members, whatever way you want to frame it. For me, I'd probably offer a workshop or some audit sessions for free or something like that. Reach out to them, because if you can just get in front of their members for an hour or something, you are reaching potentially 50, 100, who knows how many qualified leads. These are all business owners. These are people who are active in the community. They're people who could clearly afford to go to a co-working space, for example, so they can probably afford your services as well. I would also start hosting your own webinar series or in person if you have access to a space. But for me, I started doing these things called lunch and learns. And this was like in the early days of Zoom. This was like before people regularly used Zoom. It's kind of funny because it was always like a mystery when people got online. But yeah, I would just do I would do one a month over lunchtime, and I would just do a training basically. I did one that was kind of like why you should be on video, for example, because my marketing company, we did a lot of video content specific for our social media clients. And so it was just an educational thing. You can use platforms like LinkedIn to create events or Facebook page to create events. And yeah, just host it on Zoom or wherever you want to. But I think it's important to start to develop like a recurring thing that people know you for and get in front of people and show that you know what you're talking about, because it's so easy nowadays for anyone to be like, I'm a social media manager, I'm awesome. But like until they really see your expertise in action, until they really learn a little bit more about your personality and your teaching style and all of that, it's going to be hard to really seal the deal. So do something like that. And then also start thinking about your packages. Hopefully you've had some time working with a portfolio client or two, maybe a paying client or two, like from Upwork or something. So, use that data, use that time that you've hopefully tracked, use their feedback to help you structure some packages, to help you learn, okay, how much time am I actually spending on this stuff? What is the value that I'm actually providing? And you can do some math. I've got some videos about pricing and packaging, which I will link for you as well. And we also do some pretty in-depth work on that in the Social Media Management Accelerator. So that, of course, is linked for you as well. Then let's talk about month 6. So the final month, hopefully you will be at the point where you are working with clients. You maybe have gotten some of your dream clients from your pitches, or at least you're well on your way to. I think now is a good time to really start refining that brand. Hopefully you've really identified, okay, what do I really want to specialize in? What am I really good at? Am I really good at one particular platform? Am I really good at one particular format, be it video, photos, graphics, copywriting, etc.? Like you should have a better at least idea than when you first started ideating on your niche and services and stuff like that. So you can actually start to really communicate that brand, communicate those packages on your website, and you can kind of do a little refresh of your website. Like I said, in the beginning, you just need a placeholder website so people can get in touch with you. I don't think you should overthink this in the beginning because it changes so much in the early days. I changed so much. I worked with all kinds of different clients. I would have hated to have spent a lot of money or spent a lot of time building a beautiful website saying, like, I'm a social media manager for beauty brands, when that's not at all what I do today necessarily. So, yeah, you can update your website, update your portfolio with some more client stuff. Hopefully, you will have gotten maybe some testimonials or feedback from your clients that you can use on your website, because that's really important. That's what we call social proof. And that's really what helps communicate your value as well. Because it's like, again, it's easy for me to be like, I'm the best, I'm amazing. But like, if my client tells you I'm the best and I'm amazing, you're actually going to believe that, because they have no skin in the game really. So try to get that kind of stuff. Maybe for your brand stuff, this is the point where you do maybe invest in a logo or a photo shoot or something. I think doing like a annual photo shoot can be really fun and can be good to get content for Instagram or YouTube or whatever as well. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't recommend doing that on day one. Just do like a simple selfie, do a DIY photo shoot until you really decide on like your brand colors and the look and feel and who you're really trying to appeal to and things like that. And then also in month 6, again, keep pitching, keep doing all the things, keep posting on social media, but also start writing your SOPs or your standard operating procedures, because hopefully at this point you will be getting booked out. You might be, okay, I've got 3 clients or 4 clients and I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit. That's about the client load where I start to get a little overwhelmed personally. It's different for everybody and it's different, depending on exactly what services you're offering. But this may be the point where you start thinking about, do I need to bring on a team member? Do I, need to outsource some stuff or automate some stuff? Or do I need to update my processes or maybe start to charge more for the work that I'm doing? So writing out your SOPs or standard operating procedures and just really reassessing all of those team needs, pricing, all of that good stuff. I've got a video on SOPs as well. I'm going to have a lot of resources for you linked in the show notes and in the cards on YouTube. So that's my 6-month plan for how I would start my social media management business today, how I would hopefully get booked out and busy. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you are looking to take the leap into freelance social media management or in-house social media management as well, classes are usually about 50-50 between freelancers and in-house folks. Be sure to check it out, latashajames.com/SMMA. I'll leave the waitlist link for you down in the show notes. We're going to start soon and it's going to be a good time. Thank you so much to Metricool for sponsoring today's episode as well. They're an amazing social media tool. You have to learn how to use it if you're going to be a social media manager. I'm telling you, it's so helpful. You can get 30 days free on any of their premium plans using my code Latasha at the link in the show notes. That's LATASHA. And yes, I owe you a lot of links in the show notes, so be sure to open those up today. Thanks so much for being here. I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.